Hey guys, it's Yasmin here with Emily and Jimmy from Metric. It's nice to meet you guys.
It's nice to be here.
In this iconic freaking venue that's empty right now, Radio City Music Hall. Tell me what it's like just being here. Tell me about this feeling right now.
Well, it's pretty much the most beautiful room, right? It's a pretty historic place. Amazing to be here, for sure. The band met in New York, so it feels apt.
Was it ever a goal to perform at Radio City?
Sure, always.
This whole event, there's a whole bunch of like really awesome bands. Obviously, you guys are here. You know, you got Gautier, you got Jack White, Beachy Grizzly Bear. Tell me what it's like to kind of be a part of this like really badass group of musicians.
Yeah, that's kind of been striking me. Like as we've been on this tour, we've been seeing all of these bands that are playing the same rooms as us, whether it's a day before or a day after. And you know, that tends to happen a lot when you're on tour. You see a bunch of other bands that are around the same time, but this time specifically, it seems like there's some really amazing people out, and I don't know, I guess we're kind of honored to just be a part of it.
And we were reading that, I'm not sure whose first trip to Radio City was to a Dionne Warwick concert.
That was me.
That is so awesome. Tell me about that experience.
It was so great. And I was a kid, and they brought me, and it really cracks me up because fluorescent was really in at that time. And then this summer when it came around New York, I was like, I'm not doing this, you guys. This happened. That the year that I went to see Dionne Warwick.
Right.
I'm not going back. I came back to my small town with all these things from New York, like fluorescent pink, like paint splotch
so
earrings,
cool.
and But so I did bring my mom in for the show. So I think the whole experience for me was just, this probably was the topping, but no, it's true. It's just all part of the whole thing that is New York.
You guys are going to be hitting the stage tonight, and you have a special guest, Lou Reed. How did that come about?
Oh yeah, well Lou, Jimmy and I met him at this Neil Young tribute in Vancouver that we played, and it was really kind of a highlight as a writer for me meeting him, because I never could have anticipated how it would have gone down. Where a friend of ours, a mutual friend, said, "Hey, you want to meet Lou Reed?" Sure, I'll meet Lou Reed, and assuming that he'd be like, "Hey, this is Emily Haynes," and he'd be like, "Whatever, I'm Lou Reed." And instead, he said, "Who would you rather be, the Beatles or the Rolling Stones?" Which is, in fact, viewers at home, a line from one of our songs called "Gimme Sympathy" from our album Fantasy. So I was really excited as a writer that he called out my lyrics. So we really hit it off. After that, he and Laurie invited me to be part of something they did in Australia. We did a thing in Central Park, and when we were finishing the record, we needed a vocal for this song, The Wanderlust. Called up Lou, came into Electric Lady. This was in person, singing to each other in the booth. It was a really great experience. So when I asked him to do this, he was really into it.
What was that phone call like? I guess getting him to perform here with you guys tonight.
Yeah, I'm just like, "Lou, will you do it?" He's like, "I'd love to."
Oh, there it is.
He's kind of a man of few words.
Yeah, I think that's why we get along.
Right.
So there's a real chemistry with us. The thing I think people have misunderstood about Lou Reed throughout his life is that I think he's a very kind man. He doesn't have any patience, at least in the stage of his life that I'm meeting him in, for any kind of bullshit. So I found with him straight up, straight ahead, and he's a really warm guy. Our sound check was really fun, and really excited for tonight. It'll be great.
I want to get into Synthetica, which is freaking amazing, by the way. I'm like prepping today. I'm like, yes, I love this. Can't wait to hear it. Awesome. The first line on the album is, "I'm just as f***ed up as they say." What sparked you to write that line?
I had a lot of other more poetic ways of saying it, and Jimmy, who was producing the record, and we co-write all the songs together, he's just like, "What are you talking about? Like, what are you really saying?" And I'm just like, "That is what I'm saying." And it's been really interesting actually playing it live, because it was one of the things, when you adapt the studio recordings to the stage, it's always a transition. And weirdly, it has totally functioned as this kind of rallying cry when we perform it live, that it's like, by me saying it, it feels like everyone in the room is like, "Me too." And it's like you want to look at the state of the planet, or the state of ourselves individually, or the things that we're facing and the way we feel in 2012. It seems to be a phrase that's really resonating with people. So I'm glad that Jimmy pushed me to just say it bluntly.
Well, when she said it, I was like, I feel that way.
Yeah.
I don't know a single human being that doesn't feel that way.
That's right.
Let's say it.
Owning your flaws before, other people can get to them first.
I'll take that.
All right.
And obviously your lyrics, people love to sort of like dissect. And I mean, Youth Without Youth is just phenomenal. Like the video is dope as hell. I mean, it's just, what does that mean when you guys are coming up with the title even? Like, what does that mean?
I mean, everything's 1,000 things, ideally, and I can point you in a direction, but I would like to leave it open to interpretation. You know, I mean, it's obviously like there is a certain sense of hopelessness for young people right now. That's one way of looking at it. There's a lot of other dimensions. There's like different films and books like that I was inspired by for the writing the song, and I can't give you a succinct soundbite on that one. But.
I mean, I know the meaning that I take from it. I felt like it was very different than Emily's, and I feel like that's a really positive thing. Like we don't necessarily need to derive the same meaning from the same words, you know? That's kind of the beauty of poetry and music.
Well, and it's kind of one of the ways that a song makes the cut for us is that, you know, all of the lyrics give you a sense that you could look at them from different perspectives and it's not just the singular meaning. So it's how they make it on the record.
Any clue of next single or next video off the album?
Yeah, the next single is Breathing Underwater.
Very nice.
Yeah, we're excited about that.
Video, do you know when that's being shot? Any concept ideas?
We've shot it already, and
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
coming
know
out
what's
soon.
happening with it.
Yeah,
right
it's a
now.
good question. I'm going to make a phone call after this interview.
Yeah, I actually thought about it while we were playing it on stage last night, and I was like, oh, whatever happened to the editing of that thing? And I was like, dude, you're playing the song right now. Like, stop thinking about the video. You're in a show.
And congratulations, because the album debuted at number 2 on the Canadian charts, so that's freaking awesome.
Yeah,
Behind Rush, is there any beef? Y'all want to fight?
No,
Squab?
there's
What's
no
up?
beef. Those guys are
Heritage
great.
acts. What are you going to do?
Right. And I have to ask, obviously, for the Twihards out there, you guys contributed a song to Eclipse, and also Cosmopolis, if that's correct. Are you guys fans of Robert? Has he
It's
ever,
Howard Shore. It's all about Howard Shore. He's the composer, right?
Okay.
So for Twilight, he asked us to write the theme song to the film with him. So our song was kind of woven through the score, which was pretty heavy, actually, and kind of freaked me out. And then he asked us to do the Cronenberg film as well, which we dutifully did, and you know, realizing that Robert Pattinson was the lead. But the great thing is we ended up meeting the guy and hanging out with him, and he's a really good person. So
Yeah, he's
that's
actually
awesome.
become a bit of a friend, and he's
Yes.
a super, super sweet, nice guy.
Well, I definitely can't wait to see you guys do your thing, and I look forward to hearing more and more of your music. So you guys make sure you cop Synthetica. It's out right now. It's literally music to your ears. And make sure you stay tuned right here for Fuse Music Week Live at Radio City Music Hall.